Purchasing of bonds. This is the process of purchasing bonds. We refer to it as bidding. Remember, the bond is an agreement between a borrower, who will be the government, and a lender or the purchaser, who will be me and you or an institution. These agreements need to be contractual. So in law, there are two major ingredients for a contract. There is an offer and there is acceptance for the consideration. So the purchase of bonds, the process we are calling bidding, is an expression of interest to acquire the bond or purchase the bond by you, the applicant. That expression of interest is what we are calling an offer. It's very important to note that part. It's an offer. You are offering or expressing your interest to purchase the bond that has already been floated in a process that we are calling bidding. Which means the government or the floater, that is CBK, if they accept your offer or your expression to purchase, that is the time the contract will be executed when you pay the required amount. It's important to bring out that aspect of the bidding as expression of your interest to purchase, and on the other side, the floater, who is the government through CBK, accepting that offer. Two ways to bid. Depending on the amount that you want to invest in your acquisition, there are two ways you are allowed to express your interest. And this one is pegged on your expected amount of return. If you are going to purchase or bid, express an interest to invest an amount that is below 20 million, you are not required to choose or elect a rate of return. That one, we call it non-competitive bidding, meaning that your expression to purchase, you shall accept the average rate that will be given by the central bank. For those who are purchasing or bidding for an amount that is more than 20 million, they are required to elect their expected rate of return. That one we call competitive bidding. So there are two types of bidding: competitive bidding and non-competitive bidding. For you to have a higher chance of acceptance by CBK, you are supposed to bid non-competitively. Don't quote any rate of return. Bid, indicate 0. But if you are remember, if you are investing an amount that is below 20 million, you are expected to bid non-competitively. What happened is that once all these bids are received by the central bank, a committee sits and determines the average bid rate by the competitive bidders. Those who have invested above 20 million, they are supposed to quote their expected rate of return or their expected interest rate. So the committee takes an average of all those competitive bids and comes up with the given rate of return, which is all the coupon rate. And that is the rate that will be paid to all non-competitive bidders. But remember, the government has a target amount to borrow domestically. So what will happen is that first they will consider the non-competitive bidders, and the balance of the target amount will be sourced from the competitive bidders. So those who have bid a rate that is slightly above the average, they will be selected first, and the rest of the bidders who are above the set or the chosen rate by CBK, those bids will be rejected. That also effectively means if you are investing an amount that is less than 20 million and you are required by the floater CBK to bid non-competitively and you quote a rate, it means automatically your bid is rejected. So that is a requirement that is worth noting. If you are investing an amount that is less than 20 million, you are supposed to bid non-competitively. So what channels do we have available for bidding? We still have the two channels. You can bid physically to the central bank, but in appreciation of technology, once you open your CDS account, whether you have used the physical channel or the online channel, which is the DAO's CSD platform, the online channel gives you an advantage where you can query your account online. But what you are required is that if you opened your CDS account physically, once you go on the platform, the DAO CSD platform, you are supposed to quote, or you will feed in your CSD account number in order for them to log in the channel and a password. So through the channel or through the DAO CSD channel, you are able to place your bids. An advantage, you have the freedom to place your bid wherever you are. How do we get to know when to place a bid or when the government floats a bond? With an active CSD account or CDS account with the central bank, whenever the government is floating a bond, you are notified via an email or a notification, an SMS notification to your mobile number. So that bidding, it's important, as we have said. Remember, the amount that you are placing determines whether you are going to bid competitively or non-competitively. The bidding is an expression of your interest to purchase a bond. Acceptance will be done by the floater, who is the central bank. And it's only once your bid has been accepted. Once the committee sits and accepts your bid, that is the time you receive another notification requiring you now to pay for the bonds that you have bidded, and they have been accepted. In the next video, we will be looking at how to pay for your accepted bids.